all, and welcome to another episode of the Guild Spotlight. With us tonight is Omega Ascended. Leading and founding of that guild is Tyr.
Hello, everyone.
And with us tonight is his PvP general, Iceman.
What's up, guys?
Excellent. We are happy to have them. So, Tyr, tell me, Omega Ascended, when did you start?
So Omega Ascended kind of started back in about 2011, 2012. We kind of originally started in League of Legends. We had some guys that wanted to be competitive at that, and we kind of played together under the name Omega Gaming. And I took about a 6-month hiatus due to some personal issues, and then the name was taken. So we then reformed under the name Omega Ascended, and then I trademarked that name.
Okay. Now, so was it just people from your previous guild that went off with Omega Gaming, or?
No, we actually, some of us kind of started up, that guys I played League with, and then we went into a game called Rust, and we actually like shut down 2 servers there with a group of guys that I had met, and girls, because there was a few females that kind of joined in. But yep, we shut down 2 servers, made them pretty much dead.
Just from taking over the server, or just?
No, you know what? We've always kind of had a high sense of honor, so we never like raided anyone. We never killed anyone in the game. But if you shot at us, you might as well change servers, because we were going to hunt you until there was like nothing left to hunt. And so, yeah, pretty much people left the server because of that. We left one server simply because the admin was a 17-year-old kid, and he basically stopped all airdrops on the server because of us, and basically started attacking people with us, like started attacking us with other people and telling them the passwords to all of our gates and doors, because that teamwork OP.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a 17-year-old kid for you. That's exactly what it is. Not all of them. So you have a very now you're ex-Navy. Yes. So I want to say thank you for that. And I'm assuming that's where a lot of your principles for your guild come from, right? No griefing and such.
Yeah, a lot of them come from that. A lot of them come from just kind of like the way that I was raised or taught later by some personal teachers that I had in life. But yeah, very much in the military. We had a sense of honor. We did what we needed to do, and that kind of carries over in almost everything that I do.
Okay, and this is obviously drawn a lot of other military members into your membership too, correct?
We have quite a few military members, our veterans, in our guild. We have one that's in active duty right now, stationed in Germany. We have police officers in our guild. We have quite a few people. We have people that are trying to get into the military, like Iceman there.
Excellent. Yeah, you said you're working towards the Army, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to go get a contract with the Army, and I've been training with that on my own to make sure when I do get it, I succeed in that for probably about 2.5, 3 years. So,
well, I just want to take a second to thank everybody in your guild and everybody that's membership that is in the military for everything you guys have done. And I really appreciate it, and a lot of us really appreciate it as well. So I just want to say that. Now, Iceman, when did you come into the guild?
I actually came into the guild in beta. I originally was an alpha. When I got in the guild, I started watching a streamer named Killadrix.
Okay.
And then I kind of liked the game.
ArcheAge.
Looked good. Yeah, ArcheAge.
Okay.
And it kind of it looked good. And then I ended up starting my own stream, buying into the game. Got Black Hive, which is another stream to help me set it up, and just I went west with him because he was pretty much the only guy I knew, since he helped me set up my stream. Then then from there, just kind of pedaled around the west a little bit, streaming, and then Tyr and Grim jumped in my stream, and we just started talking, started doing a lot of fishing, and over the course of many hours fishing, they just like, hey, you should come play with us. So a good portion of the last bit of alpha was spent me being, the lonely red over there in their green town, just helping them fight people. And and that's pretty much how it went from there. But pretty much just overfishing.
Hey, isn't that where everybody bonds?
Yeah.
Yeah, fishing is awesome.
Now, you're in ArcheAge now.
Mhm.
When obviously you came in alpha and beta,
Mhm.
you went from League of Legends to Rust, and did you go straight to ArcheAge?
We played in 7 Days to Die for a little while. We kind of found a way to manipulate some of the physics of the game, and we had like bases that were built under lakes, so like no one could find them. So like, I don't know, it's pretty awesome. And we went from that, and there were some updates, and that was kind of the hold us over because Rust wasn't updating. Every server that we went to, we pretty much shut down. So we kind of went to 7 Days to Die, played around with that for a little bit. We played D3, but yeah, it was kind of just to hold us over until ArcheAge came out. Once ArcheAge was released, we all kind of got together and started planning, doing a lot of game mechanic testing.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of seeing what we were going to do and how we could accomplish and what our goals and kind of be the best guild that we can be. And once alpha kind of was over, we like everybody else, kind of set our game plans and we carried it out. We captured a lot of land. So the land grab, although we didn't get the exact places that we wanted, we got the amount of land that we kind of wanted. So we're set up pretty well and on release right now.
All right, awesome. Now, so now you're in your guild. You obviously are pretty tight. You just moved from one game to one game altogether, correct?
Yes. Well, we've had a few additions like Iceman and a few other guys that are really, really solid, great guys that have joined along the way. And we've got some guys that we're still kind of waiting to come over with the queue times and everything. But we won't talk about the queue times. Holy crap!
Yeah.
But
please don't talk about the queue times.
Yeah, we still got a few guys that haven't showed up yet that played with us on beta, and we still have a few guys that are waiting for the queue times to kind of go down so that they can play with us.
Right.
They're free to play players, and they're just kind of waiting. So they're not in a guild yet, but they definitely will be.
All right. So now 2010 with the Mega Gaming. When did you make the final switch over to Omega Ascended? Was that in League of Legends? Was that in Rust, or was that just strictly for ArcheAge?
No, it was definitely in League of Legends. As soon as I took my hiatus, so the way it works is if a team goes inactive for a certain amount of time, they essentially will erase the team name, or the team name becomes open for grabs. So someone else grabbed the team name, and
Okay.
from there we decided, well, now we have to change names because I don't want to fight over the rights of the name. So then I made Omega Ascended and we copyrighted it. So
All right. Now with this copyright, I'm assuming is your logo.
yes.
I kind of like it. I kind of like your Lego. You said somebody who made that for you.
Mr. Grimm, or Steven, made that. Big shout outs to him. We actually, he made 6, or we have 6 different variations, and we actually, only guild that I know of, well, we might be the only guild on the server, but we're definitely the only guild that I know of that actually use capes as a ranking system. So depending on which Omega Ascended cape you see will tell you whether they're an officer or not, and whether they're PvP or whether they're industry.
Okay. Now you say industry and what was the other one?
PvP.
PvP. So you're warriors.
Yes, we have. It's actually split.
Well, tell me about that. How come you are doing the split? Just the desire? Some people just don't want to do and get involved in PvP, or is this a group decision?
I think he DC'd.
No, he left us.
What a flake.
It happens. Well, can you answer that, Iceman?
Regarding the split between the two. Oh, hang on. Are you guys getting any feedback?
Yeah.
Okay, it's
So
gone
sorry
on
about
mine
that.
now.
My Skype crashed whenever I tried to fix my frozen camera.
No problem. Dash, are we still live? Okay. All right. Sorry, I've got the stream going over here, and we're not on there, but we are still live, so we'll keep going. All right. So as I was just saying, now you're split between the industrialists and your PvPers, your warriors. Is that a guild decision, or is that just as your membership decides if they just rather do the crafting and the farming versus the PvPing, or?
So it just kind of became this, like the nature of our group got. We um, basically became like a mini society. The way Sparta kind of worked was they essentially Spartan men didn't farm anything, they didn't plant anything, they didn't build anything. They were just warriors. That's literally all they did, was they just fought. They had another society that lived with them that, for the most part, basically did all that stuff for them, and in return, they got protection from the greatest warriors in the known world at the time. So that's kind of what we have. It's very selfless. Um, if you are wanting to only care about you and what gear you can get and what you can do and things like that, you will not make it in Omega Ascended. We are very, very selfless. Everything is for the whole, the good of the whole. Every decision that I make, everything that I do is very much for the furtherment of the guild as a whole, and not necessarily for me, for myself. Um, so yeah, during the land rush, all the PvPers set down their land.
Mm-hmm.
They turned it all to guild, and then everything else, the farmers took care of it from there, and we just pay the taxes on it. We also have an 80% like gold tax for the PvPers because we don't need gold. It gets back into the industrial side, and they make everything for us. They create everything for us. So it's one team, one dream. Even though that we're very specialized in what we do, and it just works out better that way.
That's actually rather interesting. So you basically have your PvPers, your warriors going forth, killing and
Hmm.
collecting everything like that. They're bringing back the supplies, and everything, and the gold, and you're turning over to your industrialists. And your industrialists are your crafters, your farmers, everything like that. And then they're turning around and providing the armor and weapons and such for your PvPers to go back out and keep doing it. Correct?
Absolutely.
And I'm assuming they're also PvP. The warriors, from the way you're talking, are also doing the protection work of the farms
Yes.
and such.
Yes. We pretty much have people that are ready to go at a drop of a hat anytime something happens.
Awesome. Now, so do you guys work on specific nights that are you specific nights that everybody has to be on? Are you doing rotating, or is it just whenever anybody can be on and please be on?
You know, my guild, I have to give them huge props. They are some of the most like selfless, dedicated people I've seen. I don't have to. They're so active, and they want to be there so much. Like I don't have to set anything like that.
Okay.
So they're like I don't have to worry about people being on because there are gonna be people on.
All right. Now, Ice, as a PvP general, what are you doing for the guild?
Um, Mostly melting face. Basically anytime one of our industry guys get ganked or one of our PvP guys get ganked, no matter what. I mean, if I had a trade pack on my back, hell, I'd drop that sucker and go. We respond immediately. If Tier's not around, or if he would rather me take control of a party or a raid, something like that. I'll lead guys and go do that. Sometimes I'll lead a scouting party out to Free Ditch, or we'll go scout Hasla if we need to see, hey, what's going on there, rather than send 30 people in there against like 70 reds or something. It's better to send a few guys in there. If there's just a few reds, we mop them up and then bring in the rest of the guys. So pretty much any and everything that the guild needs from a PvP side. The only difference is I'll lead a raid or something like that if Tyr would like me to, or I've been doing a lot of target calling in some of the bigger raids.
What do you mean by okay, target calling? Okay. Ricius says yes. Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of melting face taking place. Whether it's greens or reds, you mess with us. We try to reach out and talk things out first. Like, hey, why are you guys fighting us? What's going on? And we had a situation come up. I won't name the guild that. They just we tried to reach out. They don't care. So we mopped them for a little while, and then eventually they came to the table and wanted to talk. And we kind of have a rough truce going now, but. We always go diplomatic first if we can. If not, then we pull out the swords and we go have some fun.
All right. So, how many members are you up to, both in the Industrials and the Warriors?
Well, right now, like I said, we're still waiting on a few people, but we're still quite small. Our recruiting campaign, we've been getting some kind of things together. The game's only been out for 9 days, and our sister guild, Prestige Worldwide, Vetus, was like recruiting from day one, and I'm like, dude, how are you recruiting and still like doing the land rush and all this other stuff that you're doing? We haven't been too heavily focused on recruiting just yet. But the recruiting process is basically, you go to our website, you put in an application. It's not a cookie cutter application. It's an application that I wrote myself. And then you get on TeamSpeak, and me and you have a one-on-one. And if I feel like that you're right for the guild, then you get the invite.
Now, how do you what do you determine as to what's right for the guild? And what kind of people or what skills are you looking for?
Basically, if you fit our culture, if you're okay with being selfless, if you're okay with giving up things for the guild, if you'll follow orders, if you will, respond whenever called upon, you have to have that team mentality versus, the me mentality. And then we have a mentoring program so that you get placed under mentor for 30 days. And when your 30 days are up, we all kind of come together and talk and see, whether you're going to continue with us or whether we refer you to our sister guild or to one of our alliance guilds.
All right. Now, how many alliances are you up to now? Because I saw a few on your website.
Yes. So we got together. First of all, we have the two main alliances that we have is with Grievance itself and with our sister guild, Prestige Worldwide. We have, I believe, 8 other guilds.
7.
We are. Is it 7?
Yeah, it's 7.
Okay. Which is Bad Company. I'm gonna forget a few. I would have to go in game or on the website and read them all. But Bad Company, United We Stand,
Awaken,
Guild of Thrones,
Retaliation,
Awaken, yeah,
Abel's Arc, and Amataseru. I can never say that
yeah.
name.
So, and the reason why we kind of formed that is simply because, you guys kind of got all the Brazilians or the big Brazilian guilds, and we kind of got the big streaming guilds. And there are a few guilds who don't really seem to have any code of honor whatsoever, and they are constantly like giving everybody else problems. And so we kind of want to police that a little bit. Anytime that you say that, you control a trade route and all packs on this trade route have to go through your approval, that's total BS, and we'll smash you. Bottom line. We don't tolerate any of that. So we kind of formed this alliance to kind of take care of, in-house situations and things like that.
All right. Now, what I've seen a lot going on with other ArcheAge guilds, a lot of them are setting up as works, paid for hire and jobs and stuff like that. Is that anything that you guys are involved in, or are you just trying to shy away from that?
Well, I shy away from the term mercenary in and of itself because mercenaries don't really have a conscience or kind of a code of honor. They will, for lack of a better term, whore themselves out to whoever pays the most. We don't do that. As if you see on our website, it says our services are for sale, but our honor is not. If you are one of those guilds out there that has no sense of honor, that is doing shady things, and we won't help you. It doesn't matter how much gold you pay us or how much thunderstruck trees you want to ship our way. We simply will not protect your trade run. However, if you are a good guild and you need a little bit of extra help with the trade run, some good PvPers, then we'll come and help you out. And our PvPers, that's what they do. They're dedicated, so they're top notch. We have a few things to iron out in the bigger scale PvP, but for the most part, we're very, very good. Once again, I won't name any guild names, but this morning we were farming Hazla, and 3 of our guys, me and 2 other guys, were farming in Hazla, and a guild came up, and it was 6 to 8 of them versus us 3, and they flagged on us, and one of my members killed 1 and died. I killed 2 and never died, and then killed them again on their way back out. So they're like, okay, you guys can have this part, and we'll just stay over here. And that's Gotcha's is one of them. So that's kind of we don't mind fighting outnumbered. We're pretty secure in our ability to PvP that if you have a slightly larger force, we're still going to come out on top.
All right, so basically a good group of guys. All right. Now, in regards to other things with the guild, you Iceman and such, you're doing some streaming. You're looking for good guys. Basically a one guild, one hive, teamwork, and such. Now, does that go into any other charities, philanthropies, projects that you're working on?
So one thing that we do want to do is we want to work, a lot of us being ex-military and kind of understanding the sacrifice. Being in the military, you learn to appreciate some of the smaller things in life. Whenever you're out there, sometimes you miss like little things like, man, it's 2 a.m. and I'm hungry. You can't go, just something as simple as going and getting a sandwich from the fridge. You start to miss those type of things. So we want to do a lot of work with the Wounded Warrior Foundation and Special Forces. What's the name of the foundation? Iceman. He does a lot of work with it, and I want to pick it up.
The Special Operations Warrior Foundation.
Yes. And which other one do you deal with as well?
The ASPCA. Because I'm a big animal guy.
All right. Can we, since we're talking about the SPCA, can you throw up your Twitch address, your Twitch stream address in the chat? Are you in the chat?
Yeah, I'll throw it up.
Okay. So at least these guys can know where they can save it. How often do you stream for that?
I usually stream pretty regularly with the land grab and everything coming up and us running trade packs. I haven't streamed that much since launch, but once launch comes down a little bit, so probably this next coming week I'll start streaming back to kind of every night or 3 or 4 nights out of the week, simply because we couldn't afford people stream sniping, ganking us while we're trying to grab land, getting our first trade packs in, things like that. It's just too big of a security risk as far as trying to get on a good foundation going.
Yeah, I got. From some of the stuff going on with Twitch, I can certainly understand trying to keep some of that stuff secret.
I've seen too many people get stream sniped.
Yeah, and other things. Apparently swatting, which we won't go into. All right, so you're doing that streaming for ASPCA. You're doing charities for Special Ops. SpecialOps.org is the website, if I see that right in the chat.
That maybe I didn't post that. Let me double check it here. Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you're doing that, and you're also occasionally work with the Wounded Warrior Project, correct?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. All great charities, trust me. So please keep going. Do you post up somewhere on your website when you are running these?
We will in the future. We just got, the website up and running. We just got, then we had to change websites again. So we're very much just now getting everything as the organization up and running as a whole. But very much in the future, we will be posting charity drives and events.
Okay. So while we're doing that, have you guys had anything, especially going through beta, because I've seen a lot of stuff through beta and through alpha with ArcheAge, some really amusing stuff. Anything you want to share? Any stories? Anything epic?
Nice, man.
Well, I got a couple. One just simple. Killing the Kraken was really cool. Fairly easy, but that was cool to see because no other game really has that aspect to it. There was one time when I was fishing, coming back on the clipper, going out there to turn it in, and I DC'd. So you fall off the clipper, you land in the water. As soon as I come back, there was I think it was Eastern Guardians had killed me and took my fish, which was I think it was like 13 or 14 gold. And at the time, I didn't have much gold. I was trying to farm up, so naturally, I got a little angry. And I had 3 or 4 buddies with me, some of the Western buddies, and so we jumped on a clipper, chased them down, and they jumped off. I despawned the clipper, jumped on their boat. Well, their driver took off because they had a fishing ship and a clipper. Well, their driver of the fishing boat jumped off. So I just, instead of fighting, I was just like, well, I'll just steal the fishing boat. It's got my fish in it. So we jumped on the fishing boat and we took off towards Salphira. And a couple of the guys, they had died, so they rezzed over there. So they just jumped down, and we they came at us with a merc ship to try to block us off. And I'm just like ramming, trying to get to the safe zone. And a guy lands on the ship, and I make a mistake of let's jump off the wheel and kill this guy real quick. I jumped off the wheel, and he Dehuda's breath me, sent me flying off the ship. He took the ship, drove it into the safe zone, and then finally, we just stood on the boat, and we actually harpooned our clipper, and we were pulling the fishing boat back out because I was standing on their fishing boat while they were driving it, but I had control of their harpoon. And we harpooned our own clipper and basically used it as like a tugboat, and was pulling this thing out, and then the clipper despawned, we got our fish, and then we pretty much commenced to fight these guys for about an hour and a half afterwards. But that was pretty fun, and that just leads to one aspect of this game that I really truly enjoy, and that's the naval combat because there's no other game that has it.
Yeah, there were a few glitches in alpha and stuff that was kind of fun. There was with lasso, the battle rage skill. There was a bug with it, so that if there was someone standing there and you lassoed them, the neutral guards took it as they aggressed you, and they would kill them.
Yeah,
and that was some pretty interesting times. Had that happen a few times, but
however, those guards are OP.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Yeah, like I said, I've seen some amusing footage out of ArcheAge. People streaming their ships getting assaulted and dying.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's been a lot of fun, and it looks like you guys have a good group of guys that are going to it. I do want to open it up to the chat room. If you guys have any questions, anything you want to ask while I have these two on here, please throw it up in the chat now. To get it started, waffles or pancakes?
Oh, man. Butter pecan syrup. I don't care which one it is, waffles or pancakes. But as long as it has butter pecan syrup. I like them equally. I'm not...
I'm a pancake man. Come on now.
You are a cake boy. You are a cake boy. But anyway, yesterday for breakfast I had ice cream. So
he also eats bread in arenas too, though. So you got to watch out for that guy.
That's true. That's true. I will. If you run away from me, I will eat bread.
Nice.
One thing I would like to see added to the game,
yes.
Something that I've been kind of pushing for, and I believe that Mr. Bear over there is supposed to deliver the message to Scapes. but I would like to see a war system implemented into the game, very much like EVE Online has. So you can declare an empire war in EVE Online, very much like that, where an aggressing guild can declare war on another guild. Now the aggressing guild pays for it, and they pay a lump sum up front, and it goes for a week. And at the end of every week, they have to pay more. And then once the war has been initially funded for that week, they get 24-hour notice, both sides, and then you go at it with impunity to crime points. I think that would be huge and a ton of fun, and it would help clean up some of the less honorable guilds, simply because, well, everyone knows that people troll in trial chat, and it's very, very hard whenever you're aggressed upon, let's say farming in Hasla, when you're aggressed upon by a guild and you fight the guild and push them out or whatnot, and then people report bloodstains, well, you got attacked and you defended yourself. Or a guildmate gets jumped and you go to their defense, and which we will always do. We will, you get sentenced to jail for defending your guild. I understand that no system's perfect, but I think that type of system would definitely help. I would love to see that into the game. Our guild, we don't even, these so-called illegal tree farms, like you're not even allowed to touch them in my guild. We don't steal or uproot from anyone. So if you ever see us in trial chat, it's because we put people face down in GVG.
Yeah, going to jail all the time really sucks, and it's really hard getting the bounty hunter cloak when you constantly have infamy.
That's true. That's true.
Are you slowly on your way to Pirate, Iceman?
I came close in Alpha just from GVG, and I didn't like doing the trash cleanup quests because they just were boring as hell. So I came actually pretty close in Alpha from all the GVG.
Hey.
Oh, we actually got voted innocent on that one. I think Dash just said, thanks for going to jail for grievance.
Yeah.
We definitely don't mind doing that. We will definitely purple up and help you guys as our allies anytime that we can, or anytime that you guys call on us. So you guys have been awesome to us, and we've called on you guys a few times, and you guys always show up in force, and we greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, we've got quite a few people and a lot of good guys over in our ArcheAge Guild, so it's rather nice.
I appreciate you guys killing me when I asked to, when I had like 90 infamy and I just wanted to go to jail real quick.
Yeah.
You're happy to kill anybody.
I was just like, hey, can you guys kill me? And they're like, which one of the greens is this? Because we were killing Swiggity and Bloodlust right there. And I'm like jumping down, and all of a sudden like 30 of your guys just one shot, goodbye. Off to trial.
Now that's actually one thing with ArcheAge that I find fascinating and really interesting. I like to watch it during a lot of the YouTube videos during beta, was the trial system. And I gotta say, it's probably one of the only games I've seen that has a judicial system.
It really is, and they did a really good job with it. How much time you get is based off how many crime points you have, or how many infamy points you have or whatnot. So it's because they know that people are just going to go in there and troll, and there are some really interesting conversations that happen in trial chat. It gets really interesting sometimes. So I think what was the one time in Alpha, Iceman, that you actually got voted innocent?
Yeah. I was only ever innocent one time in Alpha, and that was because I went to jail for nothing but assaults and murders for GVG reasons, and I tried everything from, someone so-and-so told me to do this, or everything, and the only one that ever worked was Miley Cyrus random on my Pandora station. So naturally, I raged out. Only one that ever worked.
So, people do troll a lot in trial chat, and a lot of times people just look at things and they don't understand the things in context, and they just hit guilty. So, I think that the checks and balances that they have there kind of does help out quite a bit.
Yeah, at least try to rein in some of the griefing and stuff that goes on.
Yep.
Now, the number of times that you've been in jail, have you ever tried to escape?
Oh, I escaped all the time. If it was more than like 14, 15 minutes, yeah, I would dig those spoons and be ready to roll.
I've never been in jail for more than 10 minutes, so nah, I just watch a YouTube video.
Nice. So I got to ask, Iceman, since you brought it up. Apparently, you've been in jail a number of times.
Yeah, more than once.
Times it's been more than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
How long is your average jail time, and what is your longest?
My longest was 47 minutes, and but the average was probably around the 20 to 30-minute mark. Because by the time I would die, I mean, at this point, like especially towards the end of Alpha, I had farmed full illustrious desert gear. I had a magnificent flame Nadachi, so it's probably somewhere around 6,000-7,000 gold worth of gear. So I was doing all right, and so I kill a lot of people in GVG situations, and naturally people don't like losing. So a lot of people, rather than we make sure now that we report all of the bloodstains GVG before the enemies can get to them, because a lot of people, whether they were 50 or 45 or whether they attacked me first or not, so many people would put killing lobies as the tag. If they just wanted you to go to jail, they would put killing lobies, and people in trial would just be like, yeah, whatever, let's see, killing lobby. Oh, yep, this guy's guilty. And they're just, no matter how many people were like, nah, dude, all those guys are lying. It's like, well, that's what it says on the page here. So sometimes if there's some greens on here that are real douchey and I really want to see them go to jail, I'll just report them killing lobies or something instead of GVG, or I'll put them Justin Biebs fan or something like that. Also, too, another way to get out is if you say you're trying to go pirate. A lot of times people just want to troll you and make you go innocent. So I've seen some guys do that. I never did that, but there was some guys I knew that would always say I'm trying to go pirate in trial chat, so they would always get innocent because nobody wants more pirates.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. It's actually a good way to get out of it, honestly.
Yeah. We don't do that anymore because, like I said, I don't think anybody. I think Min's the only one I've seen go to jail. One of our industry guys when he was in the GVG with us. And he went to jail for only like 2 minutes, which means one guy said guilty and the rest said innocent.
Yeah.
But I don't think we've had anybody go to jail other than him, and that was just for 2 minutes.
No, I went to jail today.
Oh, slacker.
Naughty.
Yeah. I went to jail today for well, we're out there farming Haslam. My guys got this spot. They've had this spot for a while, and then all of a sudden these guys just decide they want to come in and take their spot.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So
I'm sitting at 39 infamy, so I'll be on trial again here pretty soon.
Yeah.
So, obviously, the server we're on, or the server you're on, is currently closed for new business, closed for new members.
Yes.
Hopefully, Tryon will open that up soon, because I gotta get my character, please. Where do you consider the future? What are your plans in the future? Like building an armada, building a castle, building.
Well, we're definitely going to help our alliance members get a castle, and we're definitely going to. Our immediate goal right now is to get a large house and get all of the regal workstations put down for our crafters to craft the best gear in the game. We got a lot of guys that are just kind of waiting for us to do that. So that's kind of our immediate goal. Long-term goal, I guess I'll go ahead and announce it here. And no one knows about this but me and one other person I think I've talked to about it. So the extreme long-term goal would be that I would like to make enough money in the game to buy anyone who joins my guild Patriot status through the what are they called in the game?
Apex?
The Apexes. That's what I would love to do for my guild mates. But that's very long term. We are going to build more clippers, and we are going to run security for guilds who are honorable and trying to make it. So anyone who needs a good military force, just let us know. I think right after our immediate goal, on top of getting the regal workstations and everything down, is simply recruiting and finding more like-minded people like us. And a lot of people are worried about spies and things like that. I used to be one in real life, so I promise people probably will not outsmart me in that regard. So I'll probably find you.
Yes, I don't know how much we can talk about it, but you used to run Intel, correct?
Yes, military intel. Yep, as much of an oxymoron as most people think that is. Yeah,
And been
that's.
proven on numerous occasions.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
So, so that's actually rather interesting. You've got a bunch of military and police people
Hmm.
running security
Yep.
in game. So that's
Yep.
actually rather amusing and interesting.
And a lot of us are ex special forces, and we have a very outside the box way of thinking. You know, we're kind of restricted on the game mechanics. Um, you know, and so Dick Marcinko, which was the founder of SEAL Team Six,
Road
um,
Warrior.
yeah, he formed a group called Red Cell that would kind of test the security of different military bases, especially those who had nuclear power, nuclear capability on the base. And he got called to test the president's helicopter squadron, and they had like all this triple magnetic censoring and all this stuff. And what his guys did, just to give you kind of how some of our guys think, time is on our side, so we use that to our advantage. No matter how sophisticated a system is, there's always a human element to it, and that human element can always be defeated. So what they did was they set in the ditch next to the fence, and they just threw they threw cats and rabbits over the fence, and it would set the sensors off, and patrol would come out, and a patrol would come out, and they wouldn't find anything. So later on, after about the 15th time of this happening, they just shut the sensors off and rigged that it was broken, and they'd call the maintenance guy in the morning. And after about the third time that they did this and no patrol came around, well, then they went in and did their thing. So we got some very smart people, some very intelligent people that are in our guild that really kind of have a different way of approaching and thinking about things. So we have some very creative ways to solve some solutions or some problems. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Also,
And strategy actually matters in this game. That's one thing that I love about ArcheAge versus other MMOs. PvP actually matters in this game. There's a sense of loss. Maybe not to the extreme case of like EVE Online, but if you're running trade ships and you get hit and you lose all your packs, that's a lot of time and effort and things that just like went to somebody else. So I think that strategy and things and really going to go a long way in this game.
Well, that's one thing. That's also another thing I find fascinating about this game, is because the way it's set up, it's always different, and something different's always going on, because it's not the straight missions and straight raids and straight everything is just over and over again repetitive. You could be going down the same trade pack you've gone down like 300, 400, 500 times, and all of a sudden there's a new guild or new group that's camping, and out for your blood.
Yeah, and that's true. That's true. And sometimes you have to call in friends to help. I really the thing about like the big streaming guilds and Zerg guilds and things like that is, you don't have the community there. You kind of like spread out, and it's not close knit. And because of that, like people don't really study their characters very well. There's a lot of people that, due to either them just not knowing and being very new to the game, or them not having people who've kind of been there, take them by the hand and kind of guide them, they don't know how to play their characters. I've been doing arenas for the most part of the day, and arena combat is very, very different than open world combat, which is very, very different than GVG or very
Naval.
Large structured combat, which is very different from naval combat. So you have like you hear Deuce and them talk about paper rock scissors all the time, and it kind of is, especially in arena. It's kind of paper rock scissors, but that's arena is a good place to learn how to fight other classes, and you'll see some very unexpected non-cookie cutter classes pop up in arena that will throw you off guard, and it's a good time to practice your mechanics and things like that. But for the most part, a lot of the people that I faced in arena, even today, you could tell that they really did not know the mechanics of their character. And then there were some that were very good today. I fought a dagger spell today I beat a lot of dagger spells today in Arena, and right now I'm playing a Blighter. And this guy knew exactly what to do to bait my CC out and my things out. So, props to him. He really knew his class very well. And there's a few stone arrows and a trickster that I fought today that really knew their classes very well.
There was one Lunatico's trickster that was setting about 13k HP, so he had none of the health lift buffs, anything. That was just straight off the gear. So he was really geared, but he was really good.
Yep. And with some guilds that I've seen, either their members are like really, really good, or their members are like really, really bad. Like I haven't seen any in between. With some guilds.
All right. Well, I could definitely keep going on all night. Trust me, but I don't think everybody. I think everybody really wants to get back in game. Before I let you go and make sure there's no other questions from the chat room, since they didn't have any for us tonight.
Well, Hap had one. He said, "Is it true guys in beanies prefer wearing thongs over boxers?"
That would be something that Hap would say.
He also said your job as an intel guy was to count the tally. To tally the number of wipes every officer took. But that's Hap.
No comment. No comment. Yeah. No. But someone wanted me to look at their build and help them out. Von
001.
Yeah. Definitely can do that. I definitely can do that. I'll even. Dare I give out TeamSpeak information on stream?
Oh, please to God, no. You can send a Twitch message, or
yes.
I can send it to him.
Send me a Twitch message, and I'll help you out for sure.
Or
make sure you put your Twitch name.
Is there a contact on your website, an email address, or perhaps your Twitter?
So me, being a former spy, I don't do social networkings at all. So okay. I don't have a Facebook. I don't have a Twitter. The guild might get that later, but I don't do social media at all. I know what that information gets used for. So,
yeah.
So yeah, no.
All right. Well,
you can definitely go to the website and shoot me a message. Shoot me a message on the website for sure. All
right. Well, definitely go to the website. That was omega-ascended.com.
Yes.
Okay, omegaascended.com. And of course, Iceman has put up his Twitch channel, so watch him, definitely. Honestly, it sounds like you guys have a pretty good group of guys. A very tight-knit family, very, very team-orientated. And hopefully you guys will go far in ArcheAge, because it looks like you guys will.
Well, thank you.
No problem. Is there anything else before I let you go?
I just want to give a shout out to all my crafters. You guys really work hard, and for all the work and hard, dedication. Like people worried about spies taking, like there's a few guilds that try to like steal members away. Good luck trying to steal any of mine. I really, they're so dedicated. I couldn't have asked to be put with a better group of people.
Excellent. Well, I want to say thank you to you guys. You have been wonderful tonight. Hopefully you guys had fun as well.
We did.
Anybody who's watching this, please check them out, omega-ascended.com. They're looking for industrialists. They're looking for warriors, PvPers. Mm-hmm. Check them out. They're a good group of guys. Next week, I'll be talking to Vocino from Strats Guild. That is, again, next Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. And thank you. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you, Tier. Thank you, Iceman. Good night.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Thanks.
Good night.
And good night, chat room.